Hi, I'm Susanne Morais, and I'm with Journeys Hypnosis, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to prepare and how to be fully informed about your online hypnosis session. I often get asked the question about whether or not an online session is as effective as an in-person session, and my answer is an emphatic yes. Um, I'm going to go through a little bit more detail about what to expect during a hypnosis session, but the essence is once we get started, whether you're in my office or at your own space, your eyes are going to be closed and you're going to be relaxing and getting into your own imagination, getting into your own head. And that's really how hypnosis works. And so a lot of people actually find that they can relax more in their own space rather than, being in a different place and driving to get someplace and driving to get back. So we start a session with about 15 or 20 minutes of talk, and then we move into the hypnosis portion. And when you do that, again, you're reclining, you're closing your eyes, and you're now accessing your imagination. I work with people all over the world, and what I understand is their results are just as powerful and as effective as they are in person. So that shouldn't be a concern at all. How can I prepare for a session so that I can get the most out of the experience? Well, check your email. You received a confirmation email that will have an intake form, and you'll receive a reminder of this about 3 days before your appointment as well. The intake form is a really important tool to help you reflect and narrow in on your intention for the session. So many clients tell me that they really enjoyed completing the intake form. So take some time with that. One worded or one sentence answers aren't really helpful for me in preparation, and they probably won't be helpful for you. So sort of sit down with it and take some time with it. The next thing is in that confirmation email, you'll also receive some of these types of videos that I've created where I answer some of the questions that are frequently asked, and I go into more detail. I find that the more informed a client is about hypnosis and what to expect, the better that the session goes. And that's because hypnosis has been so popularized by media to be something that's done to you rather than with you. And so I think a lot of people have the expectation that you're going to go to sleep or that your mind is going to be controlled. And it's absolutely nothing like that. So take a look at some of my other videos to learn more. I also recommend checking or reviewing the list that was sent in the confirmation email about how to prepare yourself physically for that experience, particularly when you're in home, like how to set up your computer, and how to take care of your body. So you'll see more about that later in this video. So, what is hypnosis? Hypnosis really is a process of deep inward focus. It's a natural state. You experience it a few times a day. Essentially, you're getting out of your conscious mind and getting into your subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is the analyzer, it's judgment. It is frequently just running things through filters of experience. So we want to bypass that and get to the deeper part of your subconscious mind. So hypnosis is a state of awakeness and awareness. So your eyes will be closed during the session, but otherwise you're awake and aware. And it's a lot like watching TV. Generally, your conscious mind is quieter and your subconscious mind is now reacting to the movie, and it'll feel like that when you're in hypnosis. It is a way to make deep and lasting change. The work that you do in this hypnosis session will very likely be permanent and serve you in a meaningful way as you move forward. A little bit more about that conscious mind and subconscious mind. So, as mentioned, right now you're operating with your conscious mind. And that's where you're trying to control things. It's pretty distractible to be in this conscious mind. If you've ever tried to go on a diet, you know that commitment can last like 15 minutes, right? Because it's your willpower. It's the subconscious mind. It's all the stuff that's under the surface that's really driving your behaviors and your reactions and responses in life. And this part of your mind is generally programmed in the first 7 years of your life when your brain is still developing, and it's programmed by the people and the experiences that you have in your early years. So the good news is it's not permanent. And this is the part of the mind that we work with during the session. And it's easy to work with simply through the use of the imagination. So how to prepare yourself for the session. So the very first thing I say is trust the process. It will feel overly simple. Like all I have to do is recline and use my imagination. But yes, that's as simple as it can be, and that's how it works. So trust the process. If you can get out of your own head as much as possible. Now everybody comes into my office and says that they're feeling a little nervous, or when I talk to them on Zoom, they're feeling a little anxious because it's something new, and that's normal. But by the time we get started, you'll feel more relaxed. There's no need to completely turn off your mind. I know that that's a big concern that a lot of people have. Um, I don't think anybody can fully turn off their thinking mind, but the idea is to get to something similar to a state that you're in when you're watching a movie. Your conscious mind slows down, and generally now you're reacting to the movie, right? So you are feeling the feelings. Maybe your heart rate goes up in a scary scene. Maybe you're sad in a sad scene. That's subconscious reactions. And that's because your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between real and imagined. And that's really where the beauty of this work is, because we're going to work with that part of your mind. The other thing that you can physically do to prepare yourself is to avoid drinking the night before. And I would recommend maybe refraining from coffee if you have an early morning appointment. And that's just so that you're not so stimulated or feeling bad in the case of alcohol or drugs from the night before. Those are simple things that you can do. If you have ADHD, it is fine to take your medicine, no problem at all. The idea, again, is just to be comfortable and as relaxed as you can be coming into the appointment. Preparing your space for an online session is also pretty simple, but it's important to run through these. So I would recommend a recliner, a couch, or a bed. An office chair is not super awesome because a lot of times there's not neck support, and your body may get tired from trying to support your neck. So I would like for you to be as comfortable as you possibly can, maybe having a blanket, dimming the lights, just enjoying a comfortable space. You'll want to set up your computer or your phone, since we're going to be on Zoom, having the camera set up beside you so that I can see your face and your neck during the session. And you'll want to have those devices plugged in. So I say this because some people have the tendency to want to hold their device. And of course, an hour and a half of holding your device is going to get tiring. So it's better to have it supported. And we will spend the first 15 minutes of the session talking, 15 to 20 minutes. So you don't have to be physically in this space right at the beginning, but understand that this is what you'll need to have set up when we start. You'll want to turn off all notifications on your phone, on your computer, even on your watch, remembering that, because that can be distracting. Ideally, you want to be in a quiet place that's undisturbed, where you don't have children or, partners or roommates or whatever barging in. I really think that the headset, the headphones, AirPods are one of the most important parts of your physical preparation. And that's because a lot of people, so many of my clients get really, really quiet during a hypnosis session, and it's difficult for me to hear. And if I can't hear you, then it's difficult for me to facilitate the session. So I understand that this may take a little extra time for setting up. See if you can borrow some. I certainly don't want you to buy these. Anything with a headset and a microphone. And I would recommend setting this up prior to the session. Dimming lights or creating some ambiance. If you dim lights, it's great so that you don't have a light blaring in your eyes, especially if you're in a bedroom with an overhead light. However, keep in mind that I need to be able to see you. So you need to be lit from the side so that I can see your face and your chest. The other thing is music. That can be nice and calming and nice to have some background sound. So it could be white noise. You could look for like an hour-long spa type of playlist. I actually recommend just one song so there's not the chance of commercials popping in. I really like solfeggio tunes, and I can make some recommendations for how to find that as well. So, an overview of the session. As mentioned, we'll start with about 15 to 20 minutes of talk right at the start, and then you're going to move into your comfortable position. You'll close your eyes, and we'll be engaged in dialogue throughout the entire session. So, for the first few minutes of the hypnosis session, you'll have your eyes closed, and I'll start with a guided meditation. And that's just meant to help you relax your body, help you relax your breathing a little bit. And then we start with the hypnosis session. And from there on, I start asking questions and you respond. And based on your responses, I ask more questions. And that's really how it works. So it is quite engaged. There's a lot of dialogue throughout the entire session. And then we'll wrap up with just a couple minutes to talk at the end. So, what else? While you're in your relaxed state, you don't need to be perfectly still. Every once in a while, somebody has to get up and go to the bathroom, and that works. Having Kleenex nearby is a great idea. I recommend throwing a blanket over your body, it just feels more comfortable that way. You will have your eyes closed during the session. Every once in a while, people wear eye masks. That's fine. The only problem with eye masks is that it can hinder your ability to cry. And we want emotion being released during the session, so that could get in the way. But if you need them, of course, use them. As mentioned, we're going to talk the entire session. So I'll be asking you questions and you'll be responding. It's as simple as that. So, to learn more about this, check out your confirmation email. All of this is detailed in that email. I also have a frequently asked questions page on my website, journeyshypnosis.com. And if you go there and click through the questions, I do have YouTube videos linked to some of the questions, or you can go to my YouTube channel and just kind of review as much as you can about how to prepare for the session. Don't worry, it's going to be great, and you'll be on your way to lasting and permanent change through this work. So I look forward to working with you. Thanks for trusting me.